I can't wait to show you my toys.
Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're looking at the Jazwares Fortnite Leviathan action figure. This is from the 6-inch scale Legendary Series. Leviathan here is from the second assortment of figures. The first assortment came out a few months ago. It was a 6-figure wave, and now the second wave is starting to trickle out little by little. The distribution is pretty crazy on these guys. About a week or two ago, I got DJ Yonder and Tomato Head from Amazon. And then today I found Leviathan and Jonesy at Walmart. They did also have DJ Yonder and Tomato Head. Still no sign of Valkyrie or Abstract. I've at least seen pictures of Abstract in plastic form. Have not yet seen any of Valkyrie. I do have a pre-order for Abstract, the Amazon exclusive from Amazon.com. I'm assuming there's going to be a general release of Abstract, and then some sort of paint variation, Amazon exclusive, but I could be wrong about this. There's also a deluxe Omega figure coming, so I'm pretty excited to get that guy as well. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see, Epic Games, Fortnite, ages 8+, Legendary Series, a lot better than their 4-inch, less detailed versions. 40 points of articulation, Leviathan, 7 pieces. So let's check out the 7 pieces. So we got the actual figure in the middle, and he looks crazy. Fish in a bowl on top of some sort of scuba diving, deep sea diving outfit. Pretty wild. He comes with his pickaxe. Looks like an SMG, as well as a hand cannon. He's got a hop rock. That was an item you can get in Season 4. You would pick it up, and then you'd be able to jump super high for 10 or 15 seconds. Some popcorn here. It's an emote you can use, just eat popcorn. Kind of cool. I believe it's considered a dance technically. And then we're going to have his back bling down below. So on one side here, got the guy throwing up the deuce, peace sign. Other side, just sort of standing there. We've got the bottom here. There's a barcode in case anybody needs it, as well as a bunch of credits. And then here's the back. So you can see Leviathan, as well as the rest of Series 2. Tomato Head, Jonesy, DJ Yonder, Abstract, and Valkyrie, with more coming soon. Not pictured is a deluxe Omega figure. That guy's going to run for about $30 instead of the $20 for the rest of these guys. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, well now that we got this guy out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. And he comes with his back bling, which is called the fish tank, very appropriate. Next he has a hop rock, a little crystal that you'd eat and you'd be able to jump around really, really high. The item is temporarily back in one little area right now. Then he's got his popcorn. His pickaxe is called the EVA pickaxe, which stands for extra vehicular. Then he's got his submachine gun in the middle there, followed by his hand cannon, or also known as a deagle in the game. But before we look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figure. Now this guy is crazy, bizarre, one of those really all-ball Fortnite skins, and there's no shortage of them in the game. Look at this guy. Fish in a big suit. Kind of reminds me of that mutant fish from The Simpsons. Definitely makes me think of Klaus from American Dad. He's got the little patch on the top. Patch little hole in there, makes no sense. He has the light teal colors. I really do like it. Jazwares kind of goes for the more friendly, softer looking figures. McFarlane's going for a little more diversity in some of the scarier, creepier looking guys, which is so cool. Really, really liking this suit. I mean, you can just see all the little details around it. I like it a lot. And before we go any further, just another close-up look at the face. Look at this thing. Absolutely ridiculous. But pretty cool. This is one of those crazy, bizarre creatures in the game. A game where you've got people dressed as bunny rabbits, just all kind of endless things. I mean, panda bears, giant bananas. The things you see in this game you wouldn't believe unless you play it. And while we're on the subject of his head, as I was moving around, I did notice it can come off. It's not easy, it doesn't come off on accident by any means, but if you kind of mess with it, you can pull it off. It's almost like maybe they intended you to be able to replace it. Of course, there's no replacement head or anything. I guess you'd always put the popcorn on here. It's flat and it does fit. ... And I did find when researching the accessories that this is not a deep sea diving suit. This is actually a spacesuit of sorts, which makes the patch on the head that much more ridiculous. Next, I take a look at his accessories. Here they all are, laid out. Let's dig in deep to each one. First, let's look at his back bling, called the fish tank. So as you can see here, I guess it's supposed to be sort of like a fish tank. We got some water that feeds into his helmet probably. Got some little knobs on the back here. And of course it's got a peg that'll fit into the peg hole in his back. And then of course, back bling here, peg goes into the peg hole in the back here, like so. And then here he is wearing his back bling. You can't really see it from the front, but of course, from the back, this is how it would look. And then here's his back bling next to all the different Jazwares Fortnite figure back blings that they've released so far. We've got a total of 10 of them. There's a minimum of 2 more coming with Series 2, and another one with the Deluxe Omega. So we should have 13 when Series 2 is complete. And then here it is next to all the different Jazwares and McFarlane 6 and 7 inch scale back blings. We've got quite a variety at this point. And then here he is swapping out his back bling with several different other Jazwares figures. As you can see, just like in the game, their back blings are interchangeable and customizable however you desire. And then unfortunately the back blings are not interchangeable with the McFarlane figures. The Jazwares has the peg hole in the back, as does McFarlane. The McFarlane has a smaller peg on the back, and unfortunately they're not interchangeable. It is the only piece between the pickaxe, the weapons, all that other stuff that is not interchangeable, and it's unfortunate. This thing here is just going to be too big to fit into his hole. No matter how hard you try, it just doesn't work. And then the McFarlane type is way too small to stay into the Jazwares figures. They just fall right out immediately. A little disappointing that they don't interchange, but the pickaxe and the guns sure do. Next, let's look at his pickaxe. Pickaxe is the EVA pickaxe, which stands for Extra Vehicular Axe. This one was available in Season 3, so I personally do not have this one. I started playing in Season 4. As you can see, it's pretty crazy looking. It's got this sort of thing that would spin at the top. This was sort of a space-themed wave. And then here he is holding this pickaxe. Here's his harvesting tool next to all the different Jazwares harvesting tools. We have 10 of them so far and plenty more on the way. Starting to get a nice little variety to choose from. And then here it is next to all the different Jazwares and McFarlane pickaxes. Boy, do we have a lot to choose from between both these companies. And yes, they are interchangeable between both lines, which is a big plus. And then here are several different Jazwares figures holding each other's harvesting tools. As you can see, they are interchangeable and customizable with each other with complete ease, just like in the game. And then here are the Jazwares figures holding McFarlane harvesting tools, and the McFarlane figures holding the Jazwares versions, showing that they're interchangeable between both lines, which is great. Wish the back blings were like that though. Next, let's look at his weapons. He comes with 2 guns. The top one is an SMG, specifically an MP5 SMG. They have lots of different SMGs in the game. We've got regular SMG, TAC SMG, suppressed SMG, MP5 SMG, and then on the bottom we've got the hand cannon, commonly called the Deagle in the game. Very strong pistol. This SMG at the top is the first time this particular one has been released, but the hand cannon was previously released with Wildcard. Here he is holding the hand cannon. Notice his trigger finger fits into the trigger and holds it pretty securely. Pretty nice. And then here he is holding his SMG. He can hold it with his right hand on the trigger and his left hand supporting the barrel. Pretty nice here. Looks pretty good. And you can see his trigger finger once again holds it pretty nice, snug, and securely in there. And then yes, if you want him to, he sure can hold both guns at the same time. This is not game accurate, but the figure sure can do this. Here it is next to the entire variety of guns that Jazwares has made so far. And then here is each different gun offered by McFarlane or Jazwares combined. All the different weapons McFarlane has made, not including the doubles that Jazwares has made as well. Here he is with another Jazwares figure using each other's weapon. And then here are some McFarlane figures holding the Jazwares weapons and Jazwares figures holding McFarlane weapons. They can utilize them perfectly, interchangeable between the lines. Even their trigger fingers work in the trigger on both lines. Next, let's look at his Hop Rock accessory. Like I said before, in Season 4, there was a field near Dusty where there were tons of these things. I call these sort of consumable items. You go over there, eat it. For the next 15 or so seconds, you can jump really high and cover a lot of ground. Pretty much just a basic crystal, slightly transparent. On the back, it has a hole where his hand can hold it. Pretty cool. McFarlane has never made accessories like this before, so I do think that's one thing that Jazwares does a little bit better than McFarlane. And then here he is holding it, getting ready to consume it. And as you can see in the back, his fingers slide in that hole just fine. Next, we've got the container with popcorn here. This thing's pretty nice. I personally have this emote, and I do enjoy it. Kind of fun just sort of eating some popcorn, and a lot of these guys have helmets on, so it's ridiculous seeing it thrown in their face. Pop at the front, popcorn on top, and then in the back, a slit where he can hold it. Here he is holding his popcorn, eating it with his other hand. Now, he's a prime example of one of those skins that's absolutely ridiculous to even use this with. I mean, this guy will straight up pull out the popcorn, grab it, and just throw it at his helmet, and it'll sort of bounce off. Part of the charm of this game. And then here they are at the movie theater, watching a movie together, eating some popcorn here with his buddy Tomato Head. And you can see they bought it from Jonesy, working the counter. And now the popcorn is really just a completely pointless item in the game. There are tons of items or abilities that are really just to mess around. It is fun to enhance the game. Just have all kinds of stuff you can clowning around, pass the time. You know, you knock somebody out eating popcorn just kind of like you're just watching them. There was a basketball release in Season 4, also really served no purpose, but I always love knocking somebody and throwing a basketball at them before they die. Tomato Head came with a tomato, which was an item you can throw in the game. Another pointless item, doesn't do any damage, just fun to mess around. Now that we've taken a very in-depth look at his accessories, next let's see how he fits on the McFarlane vehicles. Here he is next to a McFarlane glider and launchpad combo. As you can see, he seems to scale up well with it so far. Here he is on the launchpad, getting ready to jump up, scaling nicely. And then yes, they can utilize the McFarlane gliders quite nicely. As you can see here, he's hanging on there independently, gliding down, get ready for some combat. Here he is driving McFarlane's Quad Crasher. As you can see, it fits on pretty good, able to grip the handlebars. It is maybe a little bit larger size than it should be compared to him, but it's fudgeable. And here he is as a passenger on the McFarlane Quad Crasher. The foot hole actually utilizes the peg perfectly from the two different brands. Pretty cool. You can see him here getting ready to blast somebody with his SMG. And then here are a bunch of other Jazwares accessories. They're not traditional guns. They can be used to enhance your figures. These came from previous figures. We've got Boogie Bomb, Grenade, Med Kit, bandages, a big potion, Chug Jug, a tomato you can throw, DJ Yonder's turntable, and Rift to Go. Each of these items would be able to be used from any character in the game, as long as you purchase the right stuff. Next, let's check them out compared with some other substitutions or custom accessories you can use to enhance your Fortnite figures. Here's a couple shopping carts I got from a meeting at work many years ago, and they work pretty good for these guys. A little bit oversized for the Jazwares, but pretty decent for McFarlane. Speaking of shopping carts, the McFarlane shopping cart set comes out late October. You can get it for a pretty good price, pre-order on Amazon right now. Here he is getting ready to open a chest. This chest is actually made by the Jazwares company, and it comes with accessories for the 4-inch figures. It is quite oversized for the 6-inch guys, much less the 4-inch guys, but it is sort of a accessory builder pack for the 4-inch figures. I'm happy to at least have some kind of chest for my guys. Here he is opening up a llama, getting ready to get all kind of materials and bullets. Now this obviously isn't for the Jazwares figures. This is a stuffed animal I got at Walmart, and it's a little bit too large, but still kind of cool. Here he is healing up next to a campfire. This campfire came with a NECA Friday the 13th Jason figure. And then here he is with a basketball. Like I said before, in Season 4 you could earn the popcorning mode from doing challenges or leveling up. You could also earn a basketball, so I kind of associate those two with the same sort of time period when I first started playing. This one came with a NECA Alien Resurrection Ripley 8 figure. Here he is and a full squad wearing balloons, getting ready to cover some serious distance by jumping higher. These here are from some NECA Pennywise figures. Next, let's check out the height of this figure. From the bottom to the top of his helmet is sitting at about 6.5 inches. Next, let's check out this guy's articulation. So his head here, as we showed earlier, it can pop off. It can only rotate from side to side. It has no up and down motion. His shoulders, they can go out more than 90 degrees, just a little bit. He's got a ball joint here, and you can see this part moves, and then he has an extra piece of plastic between his shoulder and his chest area that adds a little more articulation in there as well. It's almost like there's two joints. You got the joint here as well as another joint behind here. He's got a bicep cut below there. He's got double jointed elbows, go all the way inside. His wrist, it can swivel, and it's hinged as well. Then he has finger articulation on top of that. His shoulder's very tight up there. He's got waist articulation up here. It can rotate, and it can also go forward and back. Nice ball joint side of there. Give him a very nice range of motion. He's got a traditional waist swivel below that. Then his legs can go out about that far, just under 90 degrees. So you can see there's a ball joint side of there as well. Go forward about that far. Back, really not at all. He's got a thigh cut below that. Double jointed knees. Then his feet, of course, they go up and down. And they can rotate from side to side. And kind of give him that rocking ability as well. And toe articulation on top of that. Next, let's check him out compared with some other action figures, starting with some other Jazwares Fortnite figures. Here he is next to the Series 2 figures that I've gotten so far. We've got Tomato Head, Leviathan, Jonesy, and DJ Yonder. There's still Valkyrie and Abstract, as well as what I believe to be a different Abstract Amazon exclusive. There's also a Deluxe Omega, and I just found out there's going to be a Walmart exclusive Crackshot coming as well. So, not caught up, more to get. Here he is next to the Series 1 lineup of Jazwares figures. And then here he is next to my entire Jazwares Fortnite collection. You may notice there are some multiples. I got multiples of the Skull Trooper to use as Scarecrow thugs in my Batman world. I got multiples of Rabbit Raider to use as Mad Hatter thugs in my Batman world. And then I got all 4 wild cards to have each of the faces displayed. I use them as my Royal Flush Gang in my DC world. And then here he is next to the entire McFarlane Fortnite collection up to this point. And here he is next to my entire 6 and 7 inch Fortnite, McFarlane, and Jazwares collection. Like I said before, the wild cards are for Royal Flush Gang, Rabbit Raiders, Mad Hatter Thugs, and 4 of each of the 3 varieties of Skull Troopers for Scarecrow Thugs. I find that the Jazwares figures complement Mattel and Hasbro type figures pretty nicely, and the McFarlane complements your NECA and Diamond Select and DC Direct DC Collectibles figures pretty nicely. And then here he is in a huge Battle Royale with all of my Jazwares and McFarlane 6 and 7 inch Fortnite figures. As you can see here, city scene in the game. Got the guys shooting, using carts, driving, gliding, sniping each other, healing up here, getting loot. Just an overall huge Battle Royale. Who's gonna get the win? So overall, this is a pretty cool figure. I must say, I really like his coloring. I really like the fact that he's just so crazy and weird. That's one of the cool things about Fortnite. Just all kind of crazy, weird designs in there. There's some pretty tame ones as well. Get that. Play with a couple of your buddies in real life. Can be a pretty good time. If I were to rate this figure, I'd go ahead and give it a 7.5 out of 10. I'm doing that because he's so unique and just different. It makes for a great action figure whether you're a Fortnite fan or not. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it in the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. So the next figures, we've got Valkyrie, Abstract, I believe 2 versions of Abstract, a Deluxe Omega, and now Crackshot. So the Jazwares line continues. Once again, it's D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this, and I will talk to you guys real soon.